From the 10th Annual Beaufort International Film Festival, Marcia Chandler Rhea is what we call a tenured alumnus, right?
Yes.
10th, what, 10 years?
10 years. I was here for the very first festival.
It's changed a little bit in 10 years.
It has changed a lot.
What was it like that first award ceremony?
I do. I remember it very well because my pictures were in there not too long ago.
Right.
Yeah, both of my pictures. So
You look a little chilly.
yeah, it was very chilly, but it was a very intimate festival, and I knew that Ron and Rebecca Tucker would do a great job and grow this festival. So I call it the best festival this side of Sundance because it's so intimate, it's so personal, and he really, both of them, Ron and Rebecca Tucker, really promote the filmmakers and screenwriters especially, but the screenwriters read, so we actually get to hear.
It's not something that you usually find at film festivals.
No, the Academy started doing it though, so that was good. You know, their feature screenplays, and some festivals have, but this is the most intimate festival, and everybody gets equal time, which I really like. And it's just grown and grown, and the competition is very fierce this year.
So 11 scripts this year?
11.
Including yours, the Geriatric Tour?
The Geriatric Tour.
Tell us about the project.
Yeah, Geriatric Tour is a true story. So it's a comedy, so this is my first comedy, and it is about my mother's trip and my trip to England. So we thought we were going to go on a quiet church group trip, learn about some D-Day stuff. We went on the anniversary, 50th anniversary of D-Day, and we traveled with some veterans and some other people. And so when we got on the plane, our trip was beset by bizarre events. So our flight engineer had a heart attack.
That's not a good sign.
Mid-flight, we had to go to Gander, Newfoundland. We had to spend the night. We had shorts on because we left Atlanta at 75-degree weather.
Right.
We were going to England, and it was going to be about 70.
Right.
Well, it was 40. And so we were shooting, you know, pictures of icebergs. So I said, well, I'm going to take advantage of this. And we were eating fish with the locals. And they had to wake up the customs agents, and they were like bare-breasted. And it just one thing after another. And everybody on that trip, something was wrong with them. You know, so it's funny. It's like One Flew of the Cuckoo's Nest, if you remember. It was very funny, you know, and then it starts getting serious. So my father did pass away during the trip, and so we faced our D-Day. Everybody else had already faced their D-Day, because through that trip I found out about the stories, you know, the backstories of everybody. And so I incorporated the backstories into the script. I made it funny because I think, you know, death, my father always looked at death as being something funny. So, but we do end on a note with my sister having the baby. At the funeral, we had to, of course, come back a week early. You know, and that was a trip in itself, you know, going through customs, and it was just everything. And they showed airport on the film when we started flying. Airport, which is about the plane going down. It's like, okay, is this an omen or what, right?
There's a problem in the cockpit.
There's a problem. And then they announced it there by the flight engineers having the heart attack. I'm going, okay, this is going to be really, really crazy. But, you know, it did turn serious.
Yeah.
But my sister did give birth at my father's funeral. So we had to leave my father's funeral, but we welcomed a new member of our family as we said goodbye to our very treasured father.
That's the sort of life. Do you like to write from experience?
I do.
Yeah.
I got some good advice from a great friend, Alfred Urey, who wrote Driving Miss Daisy.
I know Alfred. Yeah.
Yes. Jeff Monks from the South Carolina Film Office invited me to a dinner. Said Alfred is going to be here. They're going to show Driving Miss Daisy. I'm going to make sure you're going to meet Alfred. And we talked for about 2 hours, and he said, Marcia, write what you know, because the Driving Miss Daisy, of course, was a Pulitzer Prize winning play, but he won the Oscar, you know, for the script. But he said, just write what you know. You're Southern, you're funny, you know. And I just pitched a couple ideas. He said, well, you just go ahead and write that because you're going to be good. So he gave me a lot of good, you know, advice and stuff. So what I've been doing the past year is really focusing on networking, you know, being in lots of different festivals, finalist. I was a Sundance finalist this year for the labs. And I said, ooh, this is starting out really, really good with Sundance.
Yep.
And then we are working with a studio executive. He's seen the body of work, so now he's sending it out to some financing partners. So I can't say anything more than that, but Stay tuned for big development, so I'm really excited. When you get those emails from a major studio, and then now another major studio has called, so that's what you really want as a screenwriter, just to get your work out there,
right,
to get your work appreciated, and somebody to champion your work. So I feel like now, through lots of friends, through lots of good network friends and industry friends, they
Talk to a lot of
really
your
helped
friends
me.
and colleagues, but is it tougher? It's tough to sell an original screenplay. A lot tougher in this age of sequels and ready-made remakes.
Yeah, what's so interesting when we talked to the studio executive, he said, Hollywood needs to make your type of picture. And he said, I do have a lot of contacts, and so I'm going to champion your work. I mean, you can't get any better than that, right?
Right,
And I
exactly.
said, we're going to go for it. So it's like we did the little happy dance. You know, my old business partner came in, you know, that we had done some projects together, and we did the happy dance through her contacts, and so she's fearless. She works in the business, and she's just fearless. So
Well, good luck. What are we going to
Yeah.
see next year?
you know, I'm working on an African project.
Okay.
Yes, and probably with 2 or 3 writers on that one, because it's a huge epic, but it's about the British building the railroad in Africa.
Good
A
subject.
love story
Okay.
set against that, or actually a love triangle set against that. But I like period pieces, as you know, relationship, and it has to be about family,
Right.
and it has to have a happy ending, right? You know, so
And perhaps lion attacks. But we'll
yeah.
stay tuned for more.
well, stay tuned.
Marcia,
But
thank you. Thank you.
thank you
And
very,
we'll look forward
very
to seeing
much.
you for the 11th annual BIF. All right.
Well, I'll be here.
Okay.
How about that? That's
All
a
right.
promise. I'll be here. I don't know if I'll be in competition, but I'll be here
You'll
for
be here
sure.
always. All right, get more at BufordFilmFestival.com and LowCountryWeekly.com. Thanks.
Thank you.